should explain that reference, as we have a lot of international viewers.
I did yesterday.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right.
So very quick very quick to forget the problems that they had in game number 1. As Real said, well played win. It wasn't accidental. They fought hard for it.
Yeah, it was a really good job. Tricks, Cubo Fred played a sensational game. Great rotations from Xayah. Lobster was farming up mid.
Ban Geb.
And Fumble did what he needed to late game.
Right.
So
This is crazy, dude. We have some craziness coming out. So, Ratatoskr, Alkwong, one of them's guaranteed through. And I think Titan's thinking if they should ban Geb, because I think Paradigm will first pick Geb.
That's what the thought is. Here we have Confrey with the Chudat pose right now, and they're going to go ahead and get Ao Kwang off of it.
So they're going to take the Ratigan of the Paradigm. I think they have to. It was so good in that last game.
Yeah.
Of course, locked in. But Titan, we're not going to see Bologna here. I think this is going to be Geb.
There's no way
there it is.
Yep.
That was a huge problem for them.
They'll take their own Geb Freya this time around.
Funball is just too strong on the Freya. I mean, that's the Real's Funball god. The Freya is so strong. I mean, you've been playing against Funball for a long time. How long has he been potent on this character?
Well, to be honest, he didn't really do that much last game, to be honest with you. He really didn't early game. He really didn't do what he needed to. But his team done really well, and late game he done what he needed to. But they just didn't want that pressure from Freya late game. Bumble, with the team comp they had, was doing a lot more than the Medusa was doing late game, and they just don't want that pressure again.
On her and Bologna going to be locked in here from Paradigm. Their duo lane likely shaping up there. We saw On her actually banned late in the banning phase of the last game as well. So.
Yep. Anna has a really good laning phase versus Freya. It's a good pick into it. Combined with a disarm from Bologna, it should be pretty good.
Yeah, a couple of tools, right? Pushing Freya away makes her steroids pretty much nulled, and as does the disarm, maybe a little bit more obviously there. But the final pick before the next set of bans coming through from Titan, and well, you know, thinking back on Titan, it's like these guys almost never get out of a LAN with a clean victory. Their series seem to always go 4 or 5 games.
I think that's a testament to the type
pretty
of
Vulcan.
And that's I asked for it. Ask and you shall receive.
So
this is the character.
Paradigm bans a Wheelish here. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. That's
Almost
what I was
certainly.
just thinking. Maybe they're trying to look for the what do you call it? A Willix?
Oh, it's a
Willish?
It's a Wheelish technically.
Wheelish?
X's are like a she sound in South American culture, but we can call it a Wheelish.
She-Balanki.
Yeah, for the sake of this. Yeah, it's not X-Balanki, is it?
X-Balanki, excuse me.
Xbox Live Arcade. Ice is banned out by Titan here. Will Paradigm see the possible Wheelish strat coming out?
I think they're thinking about it.
I think I mean, with Geb Vulcan, I mean, those are the two that you really, really want if you're going to pick her. I mean, AoE knockups. They banned Kali. Oh boy, here it comes.
Definitely going to see the Willix pick here.
I think it's a lock.
It's got to come. And I mean, for those of you that are a little bit new, there's the Awilish pick. The Awilish, her ultimate actually pulls anybody in the air will be pulled directly to her. Vulcan and Geb with very, very easy, low cooldown knockups just open the door for that combination.
On her is also extremely reliant on his leap to deal damage, and Awilish able to blow that up fairly reliably.
Really bad ban on Kali there by Paradigm, I think, to be honest. That's what they beat us with in the SPL games as well. They beat us with the Geb Willix combo.
I mean, you got to think, once that Willix was picked in, they all kind of just collectively sighed and were like, oh, no.
There you have Cubo looking not too thrilled as Aphrodite's going to be picked up one more time alongside the Chronos. It worked last time around. I loved the play, as Reels was pointing out. Lobster did everything he needed to do. There was more potential there, and maybe we'll see it this time.
I'm worried about the Aphrodite, though. I mean,
agreed.
Cabrakan did so much in that last game, even though he wasn't really at the forefront of farmer levels and actually gave up a few kills and some lane. His rotations and his setups were fucking so good, so it was really, really tough.
I don't really know why we're going. Frankly, I don't know why we're playing this solo lane. I want to see more emphasis. I want to see more. I want Paradigm to just curse Titan out of the box.
This is a great matchup for the Hades, right, into Aphrodite. It's really, really nice for him.
Sure. I mean, this is definitely, I'll tell you right now, as soon as this series is over, I'm going to be speaking to Paradigm in general. Just ask why the Aphrodite. I don't understand.
See, the thing is here,
it made sense with Kali.
With the Geb and the Vulcan, the Awilix is going to be looking to be near the Geb and the Vulcan at all times. So her presence in the jungle is mainly going to be Gold Fury side. So you may not see much presence around the Hades. So the Hades dashing in on every wave, the Rat might be able to get some good ganks off and put the Afro in a good position. And from there, it could be very bad for Titan.
Yeah, going the other way though, right? If they are able to get that pull on a Wheelish, you know, you got to think Paradigm's going to try to collapse there and save their teammate, and that's where Hades can really blow up those rotations. So, this one feels like it's going to be very unstable. Like it's going to fall either way very quickly.
Exactly. Yeah. This could definitely go anyway.
Yeah, it's tough to predict length of game these days, but I think 15 minutes will be where we see the oh no direction when things start to teeter in either side of the coin. I think it'll be about 15 minutes. I don't think we're going to see a 25-minute stalemate. I think we'll see 15 minutes, and then either Awilish pulls 37 people to their deaths, or Kronos is doing what Kronos needs to do. So that's where I'm looking. I'm looking for Lobster. This is Emel's time to shine. Lobster needs to come out and make this Kronos pick. He did what he had to do. We need to see him go above and beyond this time around.
I think they're going to be really disappointed if Paradigm lose this game, though, because if they do fall far behind and they end up losing this game because of the Vulcan, Geb, or Wilix combo, they're going to look back and think,
we should have banned it.
We should have banned it.
Also, we lost to, we'll call it cheese. I mean, it's not really very cheesy. It's actually pretty high execution, but like you're going to lose to something that's kind of one of those like built-in synergistic kind of play styles.
Right.
It's really, really tough. I mean, we saw it actually a little bit with like kind of that Freya Sylvanas, like the banish into root, into pull, like should have been a first blood, kind of same situation there. So, and also we've seen Titan been pretty happy around keeping their jungler around that mid lane. We're pretty prime, should be able to find some knockups onto Lobster. But another thing I want to point out here is that the Awilish versus Ratatoskr matchup in the team fights is really tough for Awilish because she really only has her one leap. Ratatoskr obviously is very, very mobile, has plenty of damage to deal with her. She doesn't really have any kind of self-peel. She doesn't really have very much. She has to rely on getting the Feather Step to avoid most of the damage from the Acorns. Really tough.
And the Feather Step is a huge point when you're looking at characters like Poseidon to avoid giant burst damage. But look down the line of Paradigm. Zelia has a dot. Cuvo Fred is going to hit you multiple times. Lobster is basic attacks. Trixtank is basic attacks, and Funball is basic attacks. There really is no huge chunk that you're going to be avoiding with that invulnerability frame, so that's not really going to help. It's going to be all about the aggression on the side of that Awilish for Titan.
And this is a great start by Paradigm here. They went to the purple buff. They knew they were stronger. They stopped them taking it, and this is already a win for Paradigm. They're going to push this wave here. They're going to get the out clear, and now they're going to look to pressure the purple.
Yeah, Bellona, really, what was the big turning point for her to becoming a support? I mean, we saw her be mostly a jungler and solo laner all in split 2. Yeah,
well, it's a flex pick, you can put it wherever, and she does well in support, and here you go. Look, they push the wave, and they go straight to pressure the purple buff. Fumble's letting Trixtank solo the purple buff here, and he's just zoning them out because they're still level 1. He's just hit 2.
This looks like it's going to go to Paradigm. We do have Kanye Life rounding the corner, a good knock-up, and the disarm. Beautiful.
Wow.
But does he have the dash? No, it's an early weakening curse. Trixtank, actually, he's going to give up first blood here, won't he? Unless he gets this dash in time, he's level 2. Funball going to have to get the pin. He will get it indeed. Kanye Life, one more knockup, not going to do it. Here comes Reppy as well. Going to jump up. Suku not going to get the knockup. Trixtank turns around. A brilliant play there. Kanye Life going to try to turn the corner. Will he get the kill here? Trixtank trying to kite. Disarm comes out. Funball knocks him 2. First blood. Nonetheless, they do pull their mid laner as well. Here comes Kronos. I don't think they get anything back out of this. Cubo Fred wants to try to make something out of nothing, but it's a clean first blood for Titan for the 3rd game in a row.
So unfortunate. It was awesome to see the turnaround to avoid the knockup from the bowling ball that I like to call out of Awilish, but unfortunately does not go the way. Well, unfortunately for Paradigm, does not go their way. Titan picks up first blood in the first minute of the game.
I think definitely that instead of trying to zone him, Fumble should have been at the purple buff with him, auto-attacking it, so they could get it quicker and they just get out of there. The dual lane of Titan, they can't rotate into the purple buff while they got a full creep wave in their face at level 1. They have to clear the way first. Fumbler should have been in the purple buff with him, helping him take it. They get the purple buff, and then he's already there to help peel. He wouldn't have taken all that damage.
The creeping curse is what sealed the deal. The beginning, and that's one of the biggest changes. Again, not necessarily going to pick up Hog. You're going to pick up a different active to start the game. The creeping curse is what got that first blood. Incredible pickup for the Titan support.
Yeah, well, it synergizes pretty well with Bellona as well. She's very good in hand. Here comes Ratatoskr. I'm sorry, that's Trixtank who's actually turned the corner there. Got a decent amount of damage out of the Pretty Prime. Pretty Prime getting a bit low in mana as well, maybe uncomfortably low, and forced to put a turret in a kind of defensive orientation there to save himself from getting dove. Funballer, he seems to be having no problem, though, with this dual lane, even though they've given up the first blood. He's perfectly happy to sit here and farm. Here comes Trix. Geb shield.
I mean, you play a lot of on her reels. This character is one that you can definitely leave alone. Your wave clear is fine, and you're ready to fight.
Very safe god, very safe god. You got his ult immune, and you got a jump. He should be perfectly okay. The thing that needs to be careful of is here is the first blood went to the Wilix there. So, I mean, that was a perfect start for Titan.
The rest of it as we resume play. We're looking at the solo lane now, and there's Zelia's Aphrodite, level 6, but underneath the tower one more time. Mid camps. Not a huge focal point in this new meta, but still definitely a small objective to be grabbed. Paradigm will pick up the left side camps. The right one's about to spawn. We'll see if Paradigm sends himself over that way, and it looks like they will. So they'll pick up both mid camps, and that will keep them pretty much even with Titan here in the early game.
Yeah, the mid camps have kind of gone from, I mean, we saw their XP and gold bounties being reduced a bit, but they've gone from being kind of this obligatory objective every 3 minutes to something that it's kind of important to secure, especially if you go for that start that Paradigm has been going for, where your mid laner gets a bit behind. Being able to secure both of those mid camps, right, allows you to kind of get them back onto the curve of the rest of the team. So they've become more of a tactical kind of part of the game rather than a strategic part of the game.
I mean, last time around we would see hunters rotating out of the lane for this intense fight.
Right.
How much communication? Hold that thought. Jump in for the stun onto Ataraxia. The Hades in a little bit of trouble. There's the ultimate. It's a race against time. DPS versus DPS, and Ataraxia will fall. Trix Tank, the support for Paradigm, gets credit for that one.
Did you see that Cuba? Fred dashed in, and he was going so fast you couldn't even see the character. And all of a sudden he showed up. I was like, whoa, Ratatasker out of nowhere. There he is. Yeah, he came in there and able to secure that kill. It's a nice return kill onto the Hades. Always nice to keep Hades down a bit. That's just, he's fine. Hades is manageable when he's kind of like at level. When Hades has like a 2-level advantage on you, it's just the worst.
I mean, because you're going to take a couple of ticks of that ultimate.
Yeah.
And getting out when it does a lot of damage is problematic.
Just before that gank happened, this was what I was about to say. With Titan, with that little lead they got, the Willicks need to completely pressure the goal through side of the map. They got the Geb knock up, they got the Vulcan knock up, and the Anher's got a jump. So they got like 3 different ways they can be pulling people and putting up pressure and force the Rat to be helping his team in this side of the map. And just try and make sure Hades is on his own, pressuring the Afro. That's what they need. They just need the solo laners to be alone, so the Hades can pressure the Afro. Afro has no impact. She gets super far behind, and they just put a ton of pressure. The Willicks was farming. They had no pressure anywhere at the time. Paradigm knew that. They all went over to solo lane, and Hades dashing in on the wave. It's almost a free kill for them.
Look at this sprint 2 from Geb. I mean, obviously this will eventually move its way into Holy Agility, but just goes to show you how much that first blood hurt.
Yeah, it's the slows. The Geb with the sprint 2 will be able to shed the slows, which if you're not able to land... If you've ever seen a Geb slowed during rollout, it is painful.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, until that immunity kicks in, it's really, really nasty. But, you know, as you mentioned, maybe a Wheeler should be over the left side here, starting to pressure, but it's Ratatasker already over here, and the rotation coming towards mid lane from Paradigm's duo. Looks like they want to force a fight. Kanye-Light's going to move forward, as will Lobster. Lobster realizes that the fight's coming out. He's going to go for the rewind. It's going to come out, and here comes the rest of Paradigm. Leaping down is Cubo Fred. They're going to look for Kanye-Life, it appears. Geb Shield, not enough just yet. Eagles rally with the score. Trixtank secures that kill. And it's a second kill now for Paradigm to the 1 of Titan. Creeping Curse used by Trixtank to try to slow down Confrey, and he will not be able to close the distance there. And one thing we didn't actually take a look at is, did Confrey go into that Achilles spear again? He did not. It will be the sprint for him this time around.
Funball going to be chased out a little bit, going to be safe underneath the tower, or, well, in his own jungle. Right there we saw, well, not the problem, but one caveat with this Wheelish that we've talked so much about. It's the ultimate. You're only going to get one pull. You pull the Chronos, he's going to rewind, and everybody's in a world of hurt afterwards. So if you don't get the combo, if you don't get that kill right away, you only get one. It's not a 1-2-3 ability. It's the ultimate. So long cooldown for it. Unfortunately, does not go the way of Titan, and Paradigm secures another kill onto their support.
Yeah, Titan will have a pretty tough time finding kills until Ataraxia is able to leave the solo lane. That silence is really going to be very helpful in securing kills on these mobile characters. Well, 7 minutes in, guys. 2-1. Still in favor of Paradigm here. The gold is basically even, but you see the experience is trending towards the boys in yellow and black. 2,700 experience to their credit. Gold, obviously, a wash. As you see there, that first blood did go to Titan, but the experience, I mean, really out-farming the map is Paradigm here.
You know, they got instead of they got a really good matchup with the Anher Freya here, and you see there he rotated a lot quicker.
Again, this time around, also throwing the Vulcan out, and Pretty Prime secures the kill. Trixtank want to turn things around, but there's nothing here. Titan comes in, gets the kill, and immediately turns around. They got what they came for, and they're going back home.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they need to do, right? They have to lock down a target and kill them before they're able to use those abilities. But recognizing that Kronos' ult was on cooldown,
yes,
this is a very difficult. Lobster's going to have a really tough time here.
Yeah. And that's what Teddy tried to do the first time when you just saw it a minute ago. It didn't happen. Yeah. And because it didn't happen, the Kronos got the rewind off. Basically, all the damage they just done was completely irrelevant, and then they got counter-initiated on.
Well, 4 members of Titan over here in the jungle for Paradigm, sniffing out that purple buff, not going to find it, and Funballer sitting happily underneath his towers on her.
No problem. I mean, One impale will clear the wave, right, Reels?
Well, you got to in-hand the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still safer and easier than most of the other hunters out there. I mean, Rob, you got to sit there for what seems like an hour shooting arrows into it. Freya, don't even talk about it on her. Throw a couple of spears.
Yeah, chuck some spears.
Very, very safe.
This is maybe some of the faster Warlock sashes we've seen, ever. Both of them up and running pre-9 minutes. I mean, that's really, really, really fast.
Yeah, it usually comes around 12.
Yeah, it's usually around 11 to 12. It's okay, if you don't have it done by then, maybe you should go E-Staff, but yeah, I mean, 17 stacks as well. It's 3 waves now that Hades has had. I mean, he got that thing around 7 minutes probably.
Wow. Yeah, even 9 on the Aphrodite. To be fair, it's solo lane. You're getting that solo experience 100% of the time. Jungler's really not hanging out there as much.
Oh, I feel you, but go get an 8-minute Warlock sash in a public game. It's not that easy.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Thanks, have to report back. We'll see you in 20.
But yeah, really smart play from Paradigm. The 3-man rotation over to the solo lane. They recognized that there was no pressure happening on the left side of the map. They rotated over there. Their solo lane is in a great position at the moment.
Trixtank trying to force out Comfrey's ultimate here, but instead they're going to get counter-initiated on the knock-up into the pull. Funballer dead before he can move. That Feather Step holding him in position so he can't leap. But here comes the Squirrel. But unable to close the distances, Fred, even with that high mobility ultimate. And Titan continue to just move the Wheelish around the map and find kills, as Reels was saying they really should be.
It looked like a questionable engage on the left side. The Creeping Curse came out from Trix.
From Trix, yeah.
Yeah, Reels, what were they looking for? Was there kill potential that we're not seeing?
I think they were either trying to just force the Freya ultimate quick and burst her down after, or just try and get a quick kill maybe before she ulted, or just try and get some pressure. But the thing is, the Hanho got pulled straight back on his jump. He could have maybe just carried a run in and used the ultimate to go immune and just not jumped. Would have been the best option. But maybe he didn't realize there were Wicks behind him. I'm not sure. He jumped away, got pulled back, died before he used his ult, and it was
also a little bit questionable here. Funballer going to return to lane without beads.
Yeah,
Ouch.
Not even beads 1 here. So.
No.
I assume that he just had enough gold to finish off his boots here.
Yeah, can we take a look at gold in hand real quick to see just how much? And
yeah.
Not enough for Funball to be able to pick up the beads. So I'm sure there was a question, but deciding that the faster run speed will help him out just a little bit more. Confrey is going to be using his beads right there as the stun from Trixtank is good, but the beads are just a little bit better to turn gold and shed that CC.
But yeah, 3-minute beads popped by Confrey with no real danger of dying there. A small misplay. We'll see if Paradigm capitalize on it here.
Or a huge misplay, as Dan Brandon would say.
Yes, yeah. Literally tens of golds being exchanged here.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Shots, dude? You getting comfortable on the desk taking shots now? I see you, Reels.
Well, where Reels is from, it's just
Funballer.
He turned around.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think this one, it's starting to trend the way that you said that it might, which is that it's going to be really tough now, looking and going, be like, man, why did we ban Kali?
Yes, and the on her just pushes the fact. You don't need the setup on her jumps. You push the button. All you need is a quick trigger finger, and Repricus has shown that he is not afraid of it.
He had beats there as well.
Yeah, now with the Jotun's Wrath, he's just bought them. But with Jotun's Wrath now finished from Wheelix with these early kills, right, getting that cooldown reduction really up and running quickly means that just even more of these ganks are going to be possible. Gold Fury going to be started and completed uncontested from Titan. Looks like the first Gold Fury of the game and the first real advantage in the gold column, although it still is just a hair over 1,000. I'm sorry, over 2,000 now that they're up. Experience nearly normalized, but still ever so slightly in favor of Paradigm.
And this time around, Paradigm doesn't have the they have the Chronos, but it's not the same as we've got Kali Aphrodite. Hang on, there's late game here, folks, but it's not the same bastion of we'll do it.
And how can Cubo Fred really perform without the Geb shield? That gives you a ton of confidence to make those big plays.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he is a great rap player, but Funballer dropping behind here, it's going to be super, super hard for him, especially versus comp. They've got a Willix and they have Freya. Freya is going to be able to outscale the Anhur now fairly quickly. I mean, looking at the items now, the Freya's got boots online and a full Fatalis, so I don't even think Funball can trade with him right now. He's just counter-clearing all the waves.
And I don't want to keep harping on it, but I'm going to mention it one more time. Aphrodite is just not going to bring what Paradigm really needs to the table.
You know, actually, I don't know about that here, because specifically a Wheelish and the way they're getting most of these kills and all their momentum, it's a single target-based composition. Unless they hit like something like, the Kanye Life into Pretty Prime, huge AoE, and with Ataraxia on top of it, right? They really are more of a single target, isolation-based team. They have some good team fight potential, but it's mostly counter-initiation. So if Aphrodite is able to get the right target as Trixtank, being that right target, unfortunately, will go down. But if Aphrodite is able to immune that target that did get pulled, they maybe can turn around. Yeah. And as you see, here's Xaylia. They're going to actually eat the Hades ultimate as well as the Vulcan over to the top, but a nicely placed Undying Love from Xaylia is going to keep them from dying, and they'll get the stun on Ataraxia. But just a consolation prize. 1-for-1 traded. Trix take the support, traded for the jungler of Repicos, but the duel coming down in the duel lane here. Funballer forced to run, mostly due to the creeps there. He could have stood and fought perhaps with just the ultimate from Confrey, but those archers just do too much damage.
And you see now already, like, it is meant to be a good matchup. Anher versus Freya, it's meant to be pretty easy for the Anher, you know, but already he's got a little bit behind, and the Freya's got 600 gold ahead of him already, so it's going to be super hard from here for the Anher. Yeah,
especially when, you know, Freya with her passive gets that base lifesteal there. So, you know, in the past we saw Freya's, you know, almost always go into early Bancroft talents to really accentuate that sustain versus D.Va's Gloves, but as D.Va's Gloves has become less and less viable as an item overall, more stacks, a little bit less lifesteal, you know, you've seen them skip that for the Demonic Grip right away, and Freya will be able to bully on her and trade really effectively.
And the thing is, with that matchup, it is, if you're behind, it is really hard. She banishes him, she starts auto-attacking him, slowing him. If you miss the first couple of in-hands when you drop out of the banish with Anher, you have to run away.
Yeah, you're so far behind,
Here on the right side, the Titan knows that Cuvo is here, but I don't think they knew that Trixtank and friends were here. There's 4 members of Paradigm now on the solo lane.
It's a nice timing push for them. They see the wave all the way pushed up. They'll make the aggressive play into the jungle and take the consolation prize of the Tier 1 tower. And hell, why not a Fire Giant while we're at it? No, it's just a recall. I saw Trixtank there, and I was like, are they really going to do this? That's some serious chutzpah.
It's 15 minutes in. I don't think we'll see a Fire Giant that early just yet. But the Blink Cataclysm is large, and the ultimate from Vulcan is larger. Pretty Prime on the mark for his first kill, his second kill to those ultimates, the third overall.
We were talking about this actually during the last, I think the game, the Fnatic set yesterday, was that, you know, when you see pro players hit the jump button, it's generally because they're a little frustrated. And there you saw Lobster, he was like, well, this one's going one way. I already know how this one goes, and oh, you are just so very dead, Funballer.
Behind the tower is Titan, and they're going to go ahead and secure the kill.
Like a good like Kanye life there. Was trying to actually get that kill onto one of his carries, but is forced to kind of take it away. A Wheelish Feather Step, and this is what we talked about, that matchup with Ratatasker. She doesn't have really any options to peel for herself in that case. And I think maybe that's the answer. QFred counter-initiating onto the Wheelix more often than not. But that does like kind of suggest that somehow the Geb isn't there to put a Stone Shield down and save her life. So it's definitely going to be tough for the boys of Paradigm now as Titan takes the advantage and continues to roll with it. Still 2,000 gold, and the experience still basically even. But that Gold Fury separating the teams mostly now for Titan.
I mean, look at this. A Wheelish 2, 2, and 4. We've said her name a lot. She's doing a lot of work. But QFred has been extremely efficient. He's 2 levels above.
3
now. So, I mean, able to do so much, able to stay relevant. QFred is being one of the most efficient players that we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, he's had the experience advantage more often than not. Let's take a look here. See the player damage there. Look at Kronos. Ooh, Lobster struggling. 1,700 damage dealt in these fights so far.
Not where he wants to be, but Kronos is a character that is a late game god.
He ramps up over time, certainly. Yeah.
So we'll see in just a couple of minutes. It's 16.5. He's level 15. Once Kronos hits that level 17, level 18 area, he'll really start swinging for the fences.
If you've ever played Joust, you know how Kronos can go.
I still hear Omega crying.
Yeah.
Well, over on the solo lane, Xaylia's doing super well for himself. You haven't really seen anything.
Yeah,
over there.
Tower's still sitting up with pretty good HP there, keeping the Hades pushed away. Gold Fury started up again here from Titan. This time, though, Paradigm, they know what the score is. Let's actually take a listen to Paradigm as they look to counter-aggress.
Oh, Paradigm actually got it there.
Oh, yeah, go. Attraction coming, here.
Fuck this, cunt up!
Oh, baby, triple! Get the D-wards, go mid and left.
No, push left.
It's Freya down. I'm getting the wards. Attraction could be anywhere, guys. Let's go, boys! Fucking days. I'm coming.
Sprint down.
Come to me so I can heal.
Push tier 2 as well.
Yeah,
push tier 2 as well.
That's fine, dude. I need I'm taking for a bit.
He's mid.
I got heal up in 4. Heal up in 4. Heal me one more time and then.
He's coming.
I don't give a fuck.
Kill him, go. What the fuck? Okay, this
get out. Hold up. Heal me. Just heal with somebody else, I guess.
Get up.
I should give each other
go. Yeah, let's fucking hopeless, guys. I'm 3.5k to spend right now.
Well, you just heard it there. Trixtank and Co. having a good run of it there. Pretty excited about that triple kill from Cubo Fred.
A triple kill off the back of a stolen Gold Fury. That is exactly what Paradigm needed. They not only take back the lead, tie the game up, but they take back the lead, now leading with their own 2,000 gold.
Yeah, 4,000 gold swing in that engagement.
Yeah, very, very big for the black and yellow. Now, one of the things that I want to point out, they yelled at Dazer.
Yeah.
Dazer, of course, if you guys are unfamiliar, he's the coach. Coaches do a lot of picks and bans here, so the Kali ban that we were lamenting so much, I think we know where it came from.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, hey, you can't get them all right, I guess.
Right. I mean, he's done great work. On a serious note, we've talked to the guys from Paradigm, both the players and Zimstar, the manager, owner, and Dazer has been an integral part of a lot of their wins, and they win as a team and they lose as a team. Hopefully,
well, it's always very different, right? The perspective of being at the commentary desk versus being in the thick of it, right?
Oh, of course.
Even if you go back and watch your own games, a lot of times you're like, what was I doing here? At the time, you're like, I think I can kill him, and then you look at it, you're like, no, not a chance. You were, that happens to me all the time. Like, I'll sit there and be like, you never do this, and then definitely do it. Okay, here we go. Trixtank, he's the one pulled it, but this time it's the tank, and he's pretty tanky. Shell is popped as well. Aphrodite now linked to him, and the initiation coming forward from Cubo Fred. Doesn't get much out of the Acorns. Going to try to isolate Repicos and get the kill onto the Awelish, but she does have to leap over the wall, and no Awelish ultimate to pull back that Awelish, so away she goes.
Titan.
Hey, the cheeky pillar. Love that pillar.
Just stuck.
Is there a better feeling playing on her than just, like, getting someone with the unnecessary pillar block while you're running away?
Maybe a pillar impale.
The pillar impale just straight up?
Yeah, in a lane, throw the pillar up, impale him into it. That feels pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah. I guess so. Fine.
So that's the tough one. Reels likes the flashy plays, not the cheeky plays.
Not the cheeky plays, yeah. He's more of a hot play
Blink
guy.
can her.
Yeah. Reels goes for the highlight reel. Funball goes to make the opponent curse a little bit.
Well, over here on the right side, Adder actually trying to get something going here with the Hades. Time stop off the mark. No real CC remaining outside of that kiss from Zayli. Will stop the rollout from Geb. Knockup comes through. Pushing in the damage is Old Confrey. Rewind comes out and away goes Lobster, but he's back into the thick of it. He's going to Beads wall in the air and not get pulled by Wheel. She didn't even fire the ability. Over the top she comes with Suku. Going to try to stick to Lobster, and it will be enough with Feather Step. But here comes the Rat. Acorns coming through, doing a lot of damage to Confrey, but dashing out is Fred. The disengage perhaps called by Paradigm, but now they come back up onto the tree. Yggdrasil going to fall down. Into the back line goes the Rat, continuing to fight against the carries. And down will go Confrey, but now fighting 4 members, and the Cataclysm comes out. Trixtank in trouble as well. Eagles rally over the top, kills Ataraxia. No more silence is available. Repicos slowed down by Bologna. Bludgeon over the top and knocked up. The kiss on the mark from Zalia. Repicos knocked back. Funballer throwing in the in-hands. Will they find it? Feather Step. Knock up. No pull. Yes pull. Now down goes Repicos. They're going to do it. The Rat died. No, Rat dashed out. Continuing to move forward. Will we see the wipe? We will. It's a deicide. Paradigm wipes Titan at their tier 2.
Completely smoked. It was a 30-second fight. Usually here in Smite, they're much quicker. We did not see the enemy turn around, but Paradigm turned on a dime, looked directly at Titan, took them all out one by one, and now they have a free fire giant right off the windowsill.
I mean, Cubo Fred on this Rat. You just can't give it to him. He is just playing. If you see that team fight, if you see the amount of damage and the amount of work he done in that team fight there, it was absolutely brutal for Titan.
He did everything. I mean, he
literally did everything. I mean, the Kronos was just baiting time. He wasn't doing any damage.
Yep.
The Anher went in, did no damage and almost died and jumped away. It was Cubo Fred doing all the damage, Trix frontlining, and everyone else just wasting time, basically. The Afro gave great support to the rest of the team, healing them up as they all pushed them, but Cubo Fred was just dashing through, doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, you see the spectator pointing out there. Look at this. 11,500 player damage out of Ratatasker, under 6K for the other 3 members of the team, and of course on her there, throwing at about 8,800, but yeah, the stats don't lie there. Cubo Fred really doing quite a bit.
Cubo Fred during that entire engagement, Reels, was in and out, backline, frontline, in the air, picking different targets, taking How much value does chaos have? Creating chaos in your opponent's comms, because you want to call your target, but he's everywhere and he's attacking everyone. How much value does that have?
Oh, well, speaking of which, Confrey gets the banish, beads the way. Acorns don't hit. Acorn Barrage does, but not enough.
Bit of a slow beads there. I don't think you expect that banish to come out. If he beads a little bit early, he might be able to stay on him there.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying, I mean, it's a great tactic, especially on Rat, where you can dash through all these people. You can dash through a few people and actually go to the other side of their team.
Yep.
So it's almost like a pincer tactic, you know. They don't know where to look. Should we chase the Rat, or do we engage and let the Rat come in from behind us? So it's kind of what Cubo Fred was doing there. His whole team was at the bottom side of the lane. He was on the top. he got Titan so confused that Afro was healing everyone up in the back. The Anher was like, I don't know, like 100 health. He had to jump away. Afro healed him up, and they just re-engaged off Q-Refred's plays there, and all the time Trix Tank was in their face.
They forced out Comfrey's ultimate underneath the tier 2 here. Freya in a sticky place now as Paradigm continues with their momentum here. Geb going to move forward to the backline. Choose the Cataclysm, doesn't hit. Pretty Prime's ultimate off the mark as well. They pluck Trix Tank, but there's the Aphrodite ultimate we were talking about. Heavenly Agility used, moving forward now. Hades ultimate, but they'll be able to burn him down. It looks like Geb shield to save him for the moment. They just don't have that much damage on the side of Paradigm without the Rat, but here he comes, still waiting in the wings, looking for the initiation. Ataraxia gone. Blinking forward is the Rat. Acorn's a hit. 4 members there, maybe? Knockup from Repicos. Repicos in some trouble as a Feather Step comes out. Cubo Fred still linked for the moment. Next heal to come out, he'll re-engage. There it is. Comfrey in trouble. The birds hit him. They didn't, but he's disarmed. Geb shield to remove the disarm. Phoenix getting quite low, not dead just yet. Fun Baller pops the beads, throws in some more in-hands. Kanye Life has fallen. That's 2 members down from Titan. All 5 members of Paradigm still up with an Aphrodite once again. Squirrel goes in, Squirrel does damage. Comfrey goes down. Titan is on the last ropes here as their Phoenix on the left side has fallen, and 3 members in the well.
Funball's life was saved by taking down the Phoenix.
Yeah.
One more shot from that Phoenix would have been curtains for the Anher, but luckily for him, the rest of his team knew exactly what was going on. Focus the objective, brings it down, and that's going to be the left-hand Phoenix, the first one of this game going down for Paradigm here as we approach the 25-minute mark, 10,000 gold in the lead.
I want to go back to what Reels was saying earlier in kind of how disruptive the Rattasker's been.
Yeah.
It's been so good. It's been as effective as like a Sun Wukong we've seen be, right, in terms of disrupting the backlines here, but with the assassin level of damage. And yep, well, away they go. Paradigm to disengage here, trying to make something, a big play. Will Repicos, can he actually close the distance onto Xaylia? No. With that disarm, he can't get the Feather Step out. Nicely played by Trix, and it's a full-on retreat and a nice spear by Funballer. Oh, but here they come, moving forward. Kanye Life may have a blink. There's the blink. Cataclysm there, but nicely done with the ultimate from Xaylia to prevent any more damage coming out. Off the mark of Repicos. The Repicos comes. Ataraxia in some trouble. Backside, Pretty Prime. He's going to go down to Trix Tank, and the fight continues. Lobster's going to kill Ataraxia. Let's take a listen to Paradigm's comms as they may win the game here.
Get him! Freya! Oh,
That's fine.
Keep going. I've thought. Yeah, go kill him.
Oh, what?
Go right. Come. That's okay. Two up.
Yeah.
Easy right. Let me take. Ultimate 10.
I will up to.
All up to 20, let's go. You're fine,
Okay.
You're fine.
I had beads anyway.
Yeah. Go back immediately though. Yeah, for sure.
Well, there you go. You hear the calls from Paradigm to go right, take the Phoenix, and fall back immediately. They get what they came for, the 3rd Phoenix to go down. And a Real said in the last game, not a lot of games have been rescued from a triple Phoenix wipe.
I'd be remiss to say the one team that did do it was Titan.
Yeah, fair enough.
If I leave that out, I wouldn't be doing my job. Titan is the one team that has come back from the triple Phoenixes down against Cloud9 so many moons ago.
But not when you have a Midgardian male on your carry a Wheeler. I mean, like... See, the thing about a Wheelix is that her ultimate provides, like, the most absurd steroid in the game. Like, if you read it, it just makes no sense how good it is.
55% attack speed, 50% power.
You basically attack twice as fast and hit twice as hard. Yeah, here's Gravity Surge. I mean, you can see at the top end, 70% bonus attack speed and 60 physical power just added at the base. I mean, it's like...
My stats sounded ludicrous. They're even higher in real life.
I mean, the only thing that's even really approaching that, and this is kind of laughable how good it is Seething Howl and Fenrir.
Flaming Spear.
Flaming Spear, not even close.
I like Naja, okay?
Seething Howl is, what, 105 bonus damage and like 60% lifesteal or something crazy at max rank? But, yeah, but, I mean, you see the execution on her, and you really want her to, like, somehow find space in a fight to in-hand.
Right.
But with the blown to disarm and as much disruption as they're getting out of Ratatasker, and as little disruption as they're getting out of Ataraxia, it's very hard for Repicos to find any room in the fight.
And look at this Aphrodite. I mean, 6-0. His scoreline shows there, and he has just done so much work in these team fights. As soon as anyone gets low, they fall back with the Aphrodite, they heal up, and they're straight back in. They've got a movement speed with a Kiss, so they can re-engage quickly. She's got a ton of cooldown, so they can heal up quickly in the backline as well, where, realistically, if that happened without an Aphrodite, they'd be looking to go back to the base and take in 45 seconds to get back into the fight, you know?
Yeah, also good to see Xaylia valuing this Rod of Asclepius again.
Yes.
I mean, this item is really, really, really good. I mean, the stats on the item are really amazing. It's one of the few 100 power items in the game. Not to mention it also gives you bonus MS and the bonus heal. So you can see just how fast they are moving.
Funball in a moment of just having fun, really showing the identity of this Paradigm crew. tries to pillar his own Chronos. Just messing around with Lobster, having some fun. They're clearly
probably saying that's for feeding in game 1.
Pretty much. They do like to rag on Emil, their mid laner. But the game is not over yet. They do have to close the door.
3 Phoenixes are down. I think it's another time to listen to the Paradigm as they look to close this one out versus Titan.
Heal up. Left out. I'm switching to tricks. Help me on the pretty. On Ripcast. Get him. Easy.
End the game.
Oh! Kill him. There we go. Good job, boys. Good job.
Walla indeed. It's Trix Tank. Gets the big counter or reinitiation, I guess, there in that fight with Eagles Rally, and gets the bludgeon as well, dealing a bunch of damage. And Paradigm finds himself